Okay, so this is the Big Guy movie reviews, and today we're going to talk about, as you can see, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. Star Wars! Nothing but Star Wars! Got my lightsaber. Let's talk about Star Wars Rogue One, directed by Gareth Edwards, the man who directed the latest Godzilla movie. I believe he directed Raid 1 and Raid 2. And now he's directing this new Star Wars movie, Rogue One, which stars Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso. She is the daughter of Galen Erso, played by Mads Mikkelsen, who gets recruited by the rebellion to steal the plans for the Death Star, which her father helped build for the Empire, and she has to lead this band of rebels to find the plans of the Death Star in order to find the weakness and give those plans to Princess Leia so she can get so she can lead the rebellion to destroy the Death Star. The story of the opening crawl, which goes into A New Hope. Now, I really want to see this movie. I've been waiting to see this movie all year, and I have to say, this movie is awesome. I really like this movie a lot, even though it has its flaws. Felicity Jones is awesome as Jyn Erso. She is really good, and her character is really fleshed out. I liked some of the supporting cast. Diego Luna plays Cassian Andor, who's really good in the movie as well. And then you have Alan Tudyk playing the droid K2SO, who's great, really funny, and is just an awesome character. Donnie Yen was probably my favorite character in the movie, playing Chirrut Imwe or something like that, and he was really good. IMWE. And he was such a badass in this movie. He was just so awesome. And got Wen Zhang playing Baze Malbus, who is his best friend on the group, and he's great. I really did like him. Bodhi Rook, played by Riz Ahmed, who's the pilot that flies them to the place where the Death Star plans are. He's great in this movie too. And then you have Ben Mendelsohn playing the villain, Orson Kenrick, who's pretty good. And Forrest Whitaker, he's just there. He's barely in this movie, playing Saw Gerrera. Then you have Genevieve O'Reilly playing Mon Mothma. Vanine Kane playing Jyn Erso's mom in a flashback. And James Earl Jones comes back as Darth Vader, which is great to see. Great to have his voice in here again, that character. The movie is awesome. I really did like this movie. Felicity Jones is really good in this film, and a lot of these characters are great. The action is so good, and it feels like a war movie, which is awesome that it's a war movie with Star Wars and all, and it really feels dingy and gritty and dark, which is the way the rebellion should feel, and the effects were awesome and everything. So let's talk about the negatives, because I didn't like everything about this movie. First off, I wanted more Vader. This movie didn't have enough Vader. What it does get, the scenes you get with Vader are really awesome though, and especially the last scene Vader does, which is, oh wow, was that an awesome scene. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll spoil it in a spoiler review, but it was just an awesome scene. And you didn't get enough Forrest Whitaker. I was a little shocked at how little Forrest Whitaker is in this movie. You can almost take him out of the movie. It wouldn't even make a difference. And then there's one of the other characters in this movie, which was done in through CGI. I kind of felt like he didn't really have to be in the movie that much. Like, I wish more of the screen time that was given to that particular character. was given more to Vader instead. But I like the fact that that character was in the movie, and it was great to see that particular character in the movie. I don't want to spoil who that character is until I get to a spoiler review. And I have to say, this was just a really, really good movie. It was just really great to see a Star Wars movie. And I think Gareth Edwards does a pretty good job with these big franchise films like Godzilla and Star Wars Rogue One. But honestly, I think he should go back to doing the Raid films because he's much better with the Raid films. With Raid 1 and Raid 2, those characters were much more fleshed out, and the villains in those movies were much more fleshed out. This movie, Ben Mendelsohn is not really a good villain. He's very weak as a villain, and I think it's because they wanted to make Darth Vader and the other character that shows up in this movie more of a threat. So that's why they didn't make Orson Kenrick that much of an intimidating villain, but I kind of wish that Ben Mendelsohn was a more intimidating villain. But at the same time, I understand why. So overall, I definitely really like this movie a lot. So I'm gonna give this movie an A-. Definitely check this movie out if you're a Star Wars fan, and even if you're not. And that's all I gotta say. This movie's a heck of a lot better than Collateral Beauty. That don't even bother with that Will Smith movie. Just go see this movie.